Hey everybody, Dr. Adam Harcourt here. Today we're going to talk about my bucket theory. Now, for those of you that have followed us on other social media sites or have looked at, read the book, you'll be very familiar with this topic. But I like to go over it because it's kind of the foundation of a lot of different things that we end up talking about in our videos or in our posts or things like that. So the bucket theory really came from frustration of not being able to explain what the heck is going on with migraine and why certain things help and others don't and all those things. And so essentially the idea of the bucket theory is that migraine is ultimately a genetically mediated neurological disorder. And what that means is that certain parts of your brain, when you have migraine, are not as stable as somebody that doesn't have migraine. And the problem is, for each individual migraine patient, there's different stressors or different things that raise your probability of migraine. So I like to think about it like a bucket. So if you imagine that that part of the brain that leads to migraine is like a bucket, when that bucket fills up with different stressors like not getting enough sleep or musculoskeletal stress like tight muscles or hormonal imbalances or nutritional problems or neurological problems or all this different stuff, once all of those fill up the bucket enough and it overflows, then you have a migraine, right? And so very commonly, people that have migraines start off with a pretty big bucket or a pretty stable part of that brain. And so it takes a ton of different stressors or events in order to have a migraine. But over time, from not activating those areas, right, from just lack of exercise or lack of the ability to get outside or different things like that, or stress from school or from relationships or from family issues or from work or for any number of things, that bucket becomes less stable or it gets smaller. And now you see more and more things filling it up and you get more and more migraines, right? That's kind of the deal. And so what you want to do is figure out where that bucket is, right? What part of the brain is leading to that migraine and how do we do things to stimulate it? Because if you can stimulate it, you can make the bucket bigger or you can make that area of the brain more stable. At the same time, you want to reduce the things that are filling up the bucket. So for example, if you've heard that a gluten-free diet can fix your migraines, and that's not really one of the things filling up your bucket. It may be good for you, right? It might be a great thing to try, but you might not actually see any improvements symptomatically. So now you figure out, oh, actually there's some hormonal things going on, I got some tight neck muscles going on, and you fix those, now all of a sudden it looks like your migraines are magically better. Well, the reality is you're just addressing the rest of the things that are filling up that bucket. So if you can take all the things that you hear about migraine and put it into this framework, it'll help you understand why some people respond well to diets. Some people have amazing results with acupuncture, with chiropractic, or with all these different things. And just because you don't respond to those things the same way doesn't mean there's not hope for you to get better, because you just got to find the right things that are filling up your bucket and stop them from doing that. Hope this is really, really helpful, because if you can understand this concept, you can really start to take control of your migraine and start moving down what I call the migraine spectrum, which is on one end, people that get migraines all the time, and on the other end, people that get migraines every decade or so. Everything you can do to move down that spectrum will continue to reduce your migraine days and help you live a more fun and fulfilled life.